I'm locked in. I'm ready. I was
Since
born
all
ready.
since all I
Hi,
have is
Brian.
beer, I had to chug it.
Rahul,
Did you? What was?
He
Was
just
that
said
a nothing?
nothing to hi.
where'd you come from? Yes.
Brian just wants nothing to do to me. That's why I was like, "How you doing?" And he was
Nothing
just
to
like,
do to
"Nope."
you.
Yeah, I didn't feel like drinking tonight, so I just used alternative methods to have some fun.
Did you take a little beat, take a little thing?
Well, let's just say not just one.
Oh shit! That's why you got so much water.
What's going on here?
Yeah, that
Ooh,
the cottonmouth is rough. Okay.
Uh, the only drugs I understand are
I mean,
being drunk, and maybe a tab of LSD.
What? It's a pretty big jump. Like, yeah, occasionally I'll get drunk, and then sometimes I'll trip balls for a little bit.
So, from my experience, with my 2 trips, I had one really good one and one really bad one.
Well, okay. Immediately, I want to know what the bad one was like, but can you describe the good one first so I know,
So
like,
the night of the good one, I can tell you the whole setup to it. I was going over to my older sister's house, like somewhere I feel pretty safe. You want to be somewhere safe. You don't want to go places. Don't do that.
that's
Stay
why when,
somewhere
like, my physics lab partner was like, we were just wandering around, it was like,
No
you're
way.
fucking nuts. Like,
Fuck no.
I
So
was like,
and
he's like, yeah, we could have been, like, wandering off a cliff and not known. And I was like, what the hell?
we had a Friday the 13th marathon where we just watched the first 5
Yeah.
Friday the 13th movies, and honestly,
Good
they were
plan.
the funniest things I've ever seen. Like from what I remember of being on acid, they were hilarious. Every
I
single
feel like
death,
it probably makes everything hilarious, you know?
yeah. Um,
Until you start seeing shit that's not there. Then that's when I think I'd be kind of be like, uh-oh.
the only issue with my good trip that I had was my older sister had said, "Hey," beforehand. She said this beforehand. She said, "Hey, you might not know that you have to go to the bathroom while you're tripping acid." And
So
so
you
the
might, like, just
entire
piss yourself or
yeah, the
something.
entire time I was just like, okay. Like every
Oh, I'm
15,
safe,
30
I'm safe.
minutes, I'd like feel my crotch and be like, it's not wet. I'm good.
So yeah, you were just making sure continuously the whole
Right.
night that you hadn't, like, pissed yourself.
Right. That was the only bad part. We did go on a slight walk later on with her roommate who was drunk as fuck, and we had to babysit her while we were out there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, honestly, if you get trashed enough, alcohol is, like, far more dangerous than I think, like, psychedelics could be. Like,
It was 3 in the morning, and it was the brightest sky I have ever seen in my life.
that's why everybody that I've talked to that does it, they're like, if you could watch, like, a sunrise, like, do that shit, because it's probably awesome.
We went on a walk in the park right next to their place, and her roommate, stops underneath the streetlight
Oh,
and
no.
like starts crying, and her hair covers
no.
her face. And I just
They did
looked,
the classic,
yeah,
like, super drunk girl, like,
yeah, and the only word that comes out of her mouth is "my son,"
What?
and I busted out laughing in her face.
Just like
laughing
pointing at
right
her, like,
yes. And then my older sister looks at me horrified, and she's like, she has a son in foster care down in Florida.
And you probably were like,
And
that's just hilarious.
exactly, the entire time. It was funny as shit. Oh my
How
god.
dare you? And it's like, I'm tripping balls right now. Like, Jesus Christ.
I laid down in some wet ass grass, and it was comfortable as hell.
Yeah.
I was about to fall asleep, but like, you don't fall asleep when you're tripping. Like, it doesn't happen. Though it's crazy. The end of the night was watching a sunrise of rainbows of colors. And then I went home to watch Bob Ross while it mellowed out, and he was painting purple trees. I have never found that episode of Bob Ross since.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
remember.
probably like green, and they're definitely not purple. But you saw them as purple.
They were amazing. It was the best painting I've ever seen him paint. So,
What was
with
your
my-
bad experience like?
with
yeah.
my- we were going to Lake Michigan.
Okay.
In
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
born and raised, yeah.
On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
I don't
Yeah,
like
right.
swimming. I don't like swimming in lakes. I don't like. I enjoy hiking sometimes, but not most of the time. And I
All
don't
this
like
shit that
crowds
you
of
just
people.
described sounds pretty cool to me. So
I don't like.
I'm gonna
people.
be a little like, if you're like, oh man, I
Right.
was swimming and it sucked. I'm gonna be like,
No, I didn't even get close to the beach. At first, like I was in the car and I was kind of fine, but you could see me like every so often like grabbing my my seatbelt and pulling it off my body, because it felt like it was getting into my skin.
Yeah.
oh no.
So I was like, it's getting too tight.
I feel
didn't
like being
like
in
that.
a car wouldn't be fun at all. Like in general.
Can I ask a question?
What?
Did you take more? Was this your first? Was this before the previous story
This is
or after?
This is after.
Did you take more?
I took half a tab more.
Ah,
That's
there
what I
was
did
your
at
problem.
Ryan's.
Yeah, it's- So I was in the car pulling the fucking seatbelt off myself, and they were like, "Are you doing okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't even feel it." And she went, "Me neither. Here, I'm gonna take the big
no.
piece of this tab, and you take the small one."
No.
And I went, "Yeah, okay." Like at the camp, I'm sitting there like next to the car, like pulling grass out of and tossing it away from me because it was touching my legs. and my older sister's like, "You doing okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to be. I want to go to the lake." And so we get back in the car,
I wanna
and
go
she
to the
sees me
lake.
like scratching my arms and like
Oh,
my
no.
shoulders and shit, and I got like red marks down my arm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like these. I need them off. And she went, "We're gonna have to take you home." Because I'm like trying to like pull at my arms and like tear at my neck
Yeah.
because the
Ugh.
seatbelt was touching me. And
He
when
is
I got
not
home,
having a time.
I like walked into the front room and I saw everybody watching TV. And I started whispering to them and then like crawled to my room. But I fell asleep. And this is the turning point of the whole thing is I actually fell asleep. I don't remember it, but four
Yeah.
hours disappeared. There was no dreaming. It was an instantaneous like time warp of
Oh,
being
nice.
2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then I nearly threw up because I couldn't stand the sight of food. And after that I was like, maybe I'll just never do this again. I don't have any lunar
Oh,
items,
what?
or else I'd do this like lunar pot.
What the fuck are you freaking out over there? Xander,
What? What?
you're a bitch.
you can. What?
Yeah.
What happened?
Forgot it was this floor.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Who do you think you are, Xander?
Running around. What's the lyric?
Yes. It's who do you think you are? Run around leaving scars, collecting your jar of hearts, tearing them
Tearing them
apart.
You're gonna catch a
You're
cold
gonna
from the
catch-
ice inside your
Cold
soul.
inside your soul. Don't come back to me.
Who do you think
Don't
you
come
are?
back at all. Yeah.
The fact that I know that song that well is scary because the only time I have ever heard it in my life is when it was on like a radio in a car. Like I never actively
No, like
listened
you
to it.
love that song though.
What?
You love that song.
No, like what'd you say?
You love that song.
No, like it's just I know it. It's like engraved into my memory. It's not like I was actively seeking that song, being like that. It's a slapper. No, it's it's just kind of there.
Don't come back at all.
He's still going.